Hey everybody, welcome to sunny Southern California. We're here in Barstow at the Loves, stopping to take some showers and take some fuel on. The winds are insane in Southern California, all the way across the Mojave Desert, all the way down to the coast. Gusts up to 65 miles an hour. Now, I just drove from Needles, well actually from Arizona, but from Needles to Barstow. The wind was right in my grill basically, and so it wasn't really pushing me around too much because it was going, like hitting me in the face. But my load is only 18,700 pounds. We still got to get down through Cajon Pass, so we're going to take on some fuel, wait till after sunset to start heading that way. But if you're in Southern California the next couple of days, it's going to be windy. So all right, so I'll be back in just a second here. So it was pretty windy over in Arizona too, but it wasn't like an enormous dust storm. When I was coming across 40 between Needles and Barstow, we got to a point where there was sand just blowing down the road, like right at me, just like if it were snowing and the wind was blowing hard. So it was really cranked up. And actually the wind in Arizona was kind of just going crazy and swirling, and this happened earlier today when I was right outside of Kingman, and this box, a big box, blew across the road, and I thought it was going to get completely across the road from left to right, but then it hit like this swirl and spun back into the center of my lane, and this was the result. And actually, after I knew I hit the box, obviously, it was big, but I thought it went under the truck. Like I heard it scraping, and then I didn't hear it, and I saw some cardboard shooting out from underneath the trailer. So I didn't think too much about it. I'm like, it's cardboard, right? It's not really gonna harm anything. But then another trucker was like beside me, and he pointed he's like this, like in front of the truck, and I'm like, oh, I must have some cardboard up there. I didn't realize it was most of it, but it was like gored on the deer guard. So just pulled it off and moved on with my life. So anyway, I wanted to talk about something. My trainee is actually in the Loves here getting a shower, and I wanted to say something to people that train at Prime. Now, I know I've only been at Prime for a little while, and I know that I haven't been training very long. I've only had my second TNT trainer, or trainee, I should say. But I know a lot about training. I train people in the military. I train people periodically, as an attorney. But I'm hearing things from people and just like through comments and stuff that I learned in the trainer school, and I was a little bit appalled at some of the stuff that I've heard. And so here's my message to trainers at Prime. If you are training at Prime and your primary objective is not to get a trainee trained well, but your primary objective is to make more money or be a jackass or always get to drive the day shift, just stop training, okay? Because you probably suck at it, and your trainees probably think that you suck at it. And I don't know who I'm going to talk to about it. Maybe maybe Freight Skater or somebody like that. I really do think that trainers should be evaluated by trainees. And the reason I think that is because Prime is only really as good as its worst trainer. Now, that's kind of the, weakest link idea. Like the French Foreign Legion is only as good as its worst German mercenary. But I do think that if you work for Prime and you don't want the company, even if you're a contractor or whatever wherever you fall out in the company, if you don't want your company that you work at to be good and have a good reputation and really get better at what they do, then why are you here? I mean, I look at it like this. If Prime has the best drivers in America and it has the best trainers in America, then we're all going to do better, right? Because then Prime has more drivers and Prime can handle more commitments. And the commitments, though, we're not diluting the gene pool by adding solid drivers. We're increasing our market share. And the more dominant that Prime becomes in what we do, the more likely it is that we all have great job security and we all, make good money. And, the bigger we get, the more successful Prime gets, the more Prime can leverage that power. It's nice to be the biggest kid on the block. And I know that there are other trucking companies like UPS is bigger and, Schneider's bigger, JB Hunt's bigger, but they kind of have a different business model than Prime. But I think it's important that we have the best drivers, because who wants to, I don't want to work for a company that has the crappiest drivers. I've worked for a company that had crappy drivers, terrible safety record, and I am not kidding when I say in 7 months I got a green light to pass a weigh station twice in 7 months. I get green lights more than that every day at Prime, depending on where I'm running, But I'm really kind of tired of hearing about crappy trainers. Like, it can't be the students. The stories are legion. And so if you're that guy who doesn't let somebody drink or tell somebody not to drink because you don't want to stop for them to go to the bathroom, or you're that guy who doesn't let their trainees don't get to take showers, or you're that guy who drinks on his truck while he has a trainee on the truck, or you're that guy who drives on your trainee's logs, or won't ever drive a night shift, right? Because it turns out that driving during the day is a skill set that's different than driving at night, and you're supposed to be training people for every eventuality, okay? And if anything that I'm saying offends you, then you're part of the problem. And I'm more than happy to talk to you face to face, person to person. Because I get the feeling that the people in my class, for example, I didn't know everybody, but I felt good about a lot of the people there. I felt like there were a lot of people there for the right reasons. They were conscientious. There were some people that were really good at handling a truck, better than me, certainly, good at backing. I had one classmate, Jessica. She was like awesome. Like I watched her I didn't watch everybody, but I watched her on the pad. I was like, dang, girl. She was really good. And I know she's doing a great job as a trainer. She just has the right attitude. But people that are like, oh, I'm only gonna train because I'm freaking 10 grand in the hole on my lease. That's the wrong reason. That's the wrong motivation. So, like I said, if you've listened this far, hey, I appreciate you watching. But if you're one of those people that is a weak link, just get out of the game. Just drive your truck. No one's going to bother you. But for the trainers that are sketchy, that are crappy trainers, that call their trainees stupid or, don't let their trainees do stuff and actually like jump in the seat to do something because they don't think it's happening fast enough or whatever, you know, just quit training, okay? Leave it to people that want to do it and are willing to act professional even when things aren't going exactly the way you would want them to. Because it turns out that all of us started at the same point. And I know there's a lot of drivers out there that have been driving 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, and they think they've always been awesome at this truck driving shit. But guess what? You had a trainer, and your trainer, if I went back and talked to him, would probably be like, yeah, they were jacked up. I had to fix all sorts of issues. They didn't you know, everybody gets better at this if they're taught right. Everybody gets better. And so, you know, I'm willing to train, but I want to be in the company of people that are dedicated to excellence, not slackers. And I know there's lots of people in this company, and there's lots of good people in this company. And I want to be associated with them. And I've been very happy and very grateful that through my channel and just meeting people, and, you know, there's a lot of support in this company. There's a lot of great people. And I'm very thankful that I've been able to meet so many of them. And people, you know, I give people encouragement, and then that it's nice to hear, like, there was a guy, Pat, that I met in Pittston recently, and he sent me a comment, said he passed his CDL test, you know, and I talked to him briefly, and we, you know, I just, you know, gave him one little tiny idea, and he appreciated it, and he passed. So that's a win, and I hope he has a great TNT trainer. And you know, there's a lot of great positive things going on, but you know, we all have to be like super professional. And if you're not that and you're training here at Prime, I'm calling you out. And if you don't like it, you know, either get better at your job, or maybe you're going to end up thrown under the truck. Because some people are doing stuff that's not just being a bad trainer, it's clear violations of company policies, or in some cases, I think even the law. So maybe you just should go, I don't know, work at an Amazon distribution center or something, because maybe you shouldn't even be in trucking. You're part of the problem. You know, I worked for a company that one time I got a message. This is in one message. Safety director sent the message. We had 3 DUIs this week. We had 6 people sideswipe people in the other lane, and we had 23 people fail roadside inspections. And this is in a company with only like not even 1,000 drivers. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. I don't want to be associated with a crappy team. I don't want to be on a crappy team. I didn't want to be on a crappy ship or command when I was in the military. I didn't want to work at a crappy firm when I was practicing law, and I don't want to drive for a crappy company as a truck driver. So anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. If you're in Southern Cal, be careful. Also, winter weather up north, Wyoming. We're actually gonna drop this trailer in the drop yard in Fontana. We're gonna hook load, get it up to Salinas by tomorrow afternoon, and then we're gonna get another load out of Salinas, and I'm sure we're gonna be running across 80, so we'll be keeping an eye on things. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Be safe out there. Bye.